something like this, maybe that trip's going to have to wait now. Maybe you need to figure out, okay, next month I'm going to have to put that money back in. Here, you can take the $300 out of this budget instead. You know, you can take the money from whatever budget for that doctor's visit, for the medicine. You know, a lot of times I take it from one of the more luxury uh, saving goals than I do from my emergency fund. Because that emergency fund you want to look at as, uh, break glass in case of emergency. You're not going to want to pull the fire alarm unless it is a true fire. When you have money sitting allocated for a trip, something that you can postpone. Now, if it's, mom and dad's 50th anniversary and you don't want to postpone that trip, it's all prioritizing. Maybe it's you get there somehow different. Maybe you find a cheaper way to get there. You know, it, it's all budget. This is all real life scenarios. When I watched a couple different videos where they were talking about a snowball, and my favorite is they would show you the snowball and be like, "You're now paid off in 2 years." Welcome to the real world. You're gonna have things. You're gonna have sticks of dynamite thrown at your snowball, and when that happens, you're gonna have to pick up whatever little pieces of that snowball you have, put them back together, and start it all over again. I'm not saying it's going to be hard, it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be fun. But ultimately, when it comes down to it at the very end, you don't want to stop your forward momentum. You want to continue going and reevaluate. It's going to be an ongoing process. It's not going to be straightforward and simple every single month. One month you're going to have unexpected school expenses for kids, or you're going to have something that's just going to need to get taken care of. And especially if you're first starting to pay off and you have bad debt, you're going to have the demons in the closet coming out, and you're going to have bills that maybe you forgot about, and maybe now all of a sudden they're pending garnishment on you. You're going to have to prioritize and go with the flow. Well, I hope my videos helped. I just ended up hitting pause because I was going into a rant and my phone started ringing. So, uh, overall, I hope this helped out. As I said, it's not my goal to make money off these videos. It's not my goal to um, say I'm right and somebody else is wrong. It's not my goal to even cause arguments or just debates or disputes. If you have a great idea, what is it? Let me know. I'm open to suggestions. I'll sit there and run the numbers. If you all of a sudden tell me snowball never works, I'm not going to say it always works. I'm not going to say it never works. I'm not going to say avalanche never works. It's just a term that I've always used. You're not going to explode your avalanche. I always just say my snowball got exploded. There are times where I have actually used a combination of both snowball and avalanche, and that's where you're then getting into a custom. When I was going through it, I had a lot of different debts, and I would sit there and key it in. The biggest key thing is to free up those minimum payments or those current payments that you're making to other lenders. And there's times where I've looked at it and been like, okay, great, this credit card now has a minimum payment of 142. So I'll be like, all right, now I'll drop this one down to the minimum, and for that 191, so now I have $49 extra. So I'm gonna say, okay, great, we're gonna stick it towards the car loan. So that would be one example. So we're gonna say, okay, 295 plus that 40. So now all of a sudden we're gonna jump that payment up to 335. So we're getting it paid off faster. I tend to keep my balance dates up to date once a month, once every other month. I just go in, change the date, update my true balances, make sure all my rates are still the same, and I will actually update my minimum payment. Overall, this down here, I always want to keep at what I'm setting for my monthly minimum. If your monthly minimum is going to be the $1,000 because here you're wanting to have that snowball of an extra 186, always keep it at $1,000. Always keep your payments up here going in the way you